Hey guys, it's me for Redwall, and welcome to my playthrough of the Dead Sea Scrolls Adventure. Now, I found this game on Steam, and I believe it was a university project. So this is gonna be as is. There is no more to this game. It looked interesting, so I wanted to check it out and play it for you guys. So at the bottom it says, at the bottom right, for educational use only. Let's get into it. Enter your name to begin. Redwall. Some nice letters. Begin your adventure. Move WASD to quit escape to the controls and to look around mouse and interact space.
Welcome to the Dead Sea Scrolls adventure. I'm Jerusalem Jones, and I'm an explorer purely seeking knowledge. Currently, I'm in the desert near the Dead Sea, in search of the 7 major Dead Sea Scrolls. I don't know much about the history of the scrolls, but I was told the whereabouts of someone who does. There's a shepherd in one of the caves around here, and I need to find him to get any information. Can you help me find him?
Sure. Oh, I'll play as him. Alright. I have to find a shepherd in one of the caves. Oh, that walking though. So there's no jumping. Act. Walk. Like WASD.
This might be where that Bedouin shepherd Mohammed is. Hello there. Hi, I'm Jerusalem Jones. I've been on the hunt in search of some archaeological treasures in the form of scrolls. Do you have any information that might assist me? Yes, of course. I was out here a while ago with my cousins in search of our lost sheep when my cousin Juma decided to throw some stones in this cave. That's when we heard a shatter. It was too late in the night to examine what happened, so I decided to come back 2 days later, alone. That's when I found them. Clay jars lined up against the cave walls, one of them shattered from Juma's stone throw. It contained 4 scrolls wrapped in cloth. I had no idea what the origin of these ancient documents might have been. For a time, I hung them up on a tent pole, but I later decided to take them to the market at Bethlehem. One of the scrolls was irrevocably damaged, but I managed to sell them to an antiquities dealer who goes by the name of Kondo. He will be the one to give you the information you need. Ah, very well. Thank you for this, Mohammed. Off to Bethlehem I go. Now, where on this map is Bethlehem located?
Let's see. Objective: find Bethlehem. Found it. There? Here? Antique store. Gotta be here.
Welcome to my shop, traveler. Is there anything specific you are looking for that I can help you with? I'm Jerusalem Jones. I assume that you're Kondo. I was wondering if you could tell me about your purchase of the scrolls that came from the desert. Ah, yes, of course. I assume Mohammed sent you my way. He's the one who sold me the first of the scrolls, you know. I had thought they might be valuable, so I bought them and asked where he found them. Wow! Then what did you do? I took 4 of them to show to the Christian elders in the Syrian Orthodox Church over in the Armenian quarter of the city, because I wanted to try finding out how valuable they were. I ended up selling them for about $100 to the head of St. Mark's Syrian Orthodox Monastery in the Old City, Archbishop Samuel.
Act. The monastery.
What brings you to my church? Greetings, Archbishop. I'm Jerusalem Jones, and I'm in search of the elder of this church. Might you be he? Yes, that's me. What is it that you want with me? I have been on the search for the 7 major Dead Sea Scrolls, and I was informed that you might have some information that might help me on my quest. Ah, yes, the scrolls. I bought these 4 from a shopkeeper in Bethlehem who didn't know the content of them. But I too was equally unable to read their inscriptions. I reached out to a scholar at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, Professor Sukenik, to ask for his judgment on the scrolls, to which he explained the contents of them to me. The professor offered to buy them from me, to which I declined. Wow! What were the contents of those 4 scrolls, if I may ask? Very well. After the professor deciphered the content of all 4 scrolls, he revealed that I had the following in my possession. All 66 chapters of the book of Isaiah, measuring about 24 feet in length. A previously unknown commentary on the book of Habakkuk, and a clever reworking of the book of Genesis, the so-called Genesis Apocryphon. The last scroll featured a manuscript and set out the rules of an exclusive religious order, most likely the same order that wrote these scrolls. Fascinating! Do you still have these scrolls in your possession? Sadly, yes, I do. I presented them to an American audience at the Library of Congress, asking for at least $1 million, but my offer was declined. I am curious, Dr. Jones, how much of my story have you remembered? Let me ask you a few questions to test your knowledge.
Uh-oh. Where did Archbishop Samuel try to sell the scrolls for $1 million? Library of Congress in Washington, D.C., University of Oxford, St. Mark's Syrian Orthodox Monastery, the desert where an Egyptian research group was gathered. First one. What are the contents of the 4 scrolls in the Archbishop Samuel's possession? Partial text of the book of Genesis, a manuscript of non-biblical Psalms that resemble those in the Bible in the entire book of Habakkuk. Partial text of the book of Isaiah, a collection of non-biblical Psalms that resemble those in the Bible, and a document describing an apocalyptic battle called the War Scroll. All 66 chapters of the book of Isaiah, an unknown commentary on the book of Habakkuk, a reworking of the book of Genesis called the Genesis Apocryphon, and a scroll relating the rules of an exclusive religious order. 52 chapters of the book of Isaiah, an unknown commentary on a document describing an apocalyptic battle called the War Scroll, and a map to the Copper Scroll. What objects were those scrolls in? Leather bags, clay jars, wooden crates, or clay tubes? Clay jars? How did Muhammad find the scrolls? Cousin Jooms threw a stone in a cave and heard something shatter. Cousin Jooms sold them to him. Muhammad threw a stone in a cave and heard something shatter. Muhammad's lost sheep dug it up. Who did Muhammad sell his scrolls to? Shopkeeper named Kando, fellow Bedouin, shepherd named Kama, merchant named Ken, and explorer named Mati. Shopkeeper? Why were Muhammad and his cousin in the desert? They were looking for a lost sheep. They were exploring. They were hunting for treasure. They lived there. Oh, is it this one? Lost sheep. How many scrolls did Kando sell to Archbishop Samuel? Ah, 4, right? Because he was talking about those 4 that he had. Continue. Score 7 out of 7. Yes. All right, continue game.
Very well, Dr. Jones. I'm impressed. Phew, that was close. I should get out of here and get back to Kondo. Wow, those 4 scrolls you sold are very valuable. Might you have any others, perchance? Oh, actually, I didn't want to get in trouble, so I had buried a few scroll fragments in my own garden that ended up ruining them. But there was yet another transaction involving a separate set of scrolls. I happen to know of someone who lives on the other side of Jerusalem who could tell you more. He's a Jewish professor by the name of Elazar Sukenik. If you can find his apartment, he'll tell you everything you want to know. Thank you, Kondo. I'll find him. Kondo said the professor is Jewish. That means his apartment has to be in West Jerusalem. Let's go.
Check to find professors in West Jerusalem. Found it. Oh, okay.
Hello, Professor Sukenik? I'm Jerusalem Jones. A shopkeeper from Bethlehem led me here. Hello there. You must be talking about Kondo. I've heard him mentioned before. What can I do for you? I'm an explorer. I've been going around and gathering information about the 7 major Dead Sea Scrolls. I've found out about the history of 4 of the 7, and I was hoping you might have some information about the remaining 3. Of course! I first found out about these ancient scrolls from a Syrian Christian antiquities dealer by the name of Faidi Salahi. I was originally told of him by an Armenian dealer known as Mr. X. He had shown me some fragments, and when I offered to buy them, he revealed that Salahi had 3 actual scrolls himself. It was a tough journey to get a hold of them. However, since Salahi was in Bethlehem's Arab quarter, as a Jew, it was a bit dangerous to go there, so I had to dress as a woman to sneak through with Mr. X as my escort. Finally, I arrived at Salahi's apartment, where my hands trembled as I unwrapped the 3 scrolls he gave me. I was astonished to discover that the contents of these scrolls were written in biblical Hebrew. The language was like that of the Psalms, but the text was unknown to me. I looked, and I suddenly had the feeling that I was privileged by destiny to gaze upon a Hebrew scroll which had not been read for more than 2,000 years. Incredible! Little did I know that two historical events were about to happen on the same day. After I purchased these 3 scrolls from Salahi, I returned to my home to examine them in my living room. In the next room over, my youngest son, Mati, comes in with the incredible news that the United Nations had indeed voted to partition Palestine, the first Jewish state in 2,000 years, would just happen to be created this day. The official end of the British mandate would come about in May of the following year. Wow, that truly is an extraordinary piece of history, Professor. Were you able to decipher the actual contents of the scrolls? Yes. After examining them, I discovered that I had acquired the following: a partial text of the book of Isaiah, a collection of non-biblical psalms that resemble those in the Bible, but never before seen by modern eyes. The third and final one contained a strange document describing an apocalyptic battle, the War Scroll. These scrolls were subsequently tested, and it was established that the material was indeed 2,000 years old, dating to the first 2 centuries before the Common Era. I must ask now, Dr. Jones, how much of this did you keep track of?
How many Dead Sea Scrolls in total are there in this adventure? 7. What were the contents of the 3 scrolls from Salahi? Partial text of the book of Isaiah, a collection of non-biblical psalms that resemble those in the Bible, a document describing an apocalyptic battle called the War. What language were the 3 scrolls written? Hebrew. What period were the scrolls dated? 1st centuries BC. Who helped Professor Sukenik find out about and gain access to the scrolls? Mr. X, an antiquities dealer, and Friday Salahi, an Athenian dealer. I got him a little round. What other historical event happened on the very day that Professor Sukenik read the scrolls? The United Nations voted to partition Palestine, creating the first Jewish state in 2,000 years. What date did the British mandate come to an official end? You're right. Score 6 out of 7. New game.
Magnificent! Well done! Now for your reward. Let me peek into the future and tell you about the Copper Scroll. Oh? What could that be, Professor? Located in a cave very close to where you first found the Bedouin shepherd, there lies an artifact different from the others. This scroll is made entirely out of copper instead of parchment. Oxidizing over time, this scroll had to be sawed open from its rolled up position to decipher its contents regarding the location of an enormous hoard of buried treasure, including roughly 200 tons of gold and silver.
It's true. I don't remember this part of the watching videos of Jesse's. I don't recall them talking about this.
Let's open up the map and find where this treasure might be.
Maybe just for here? Found it. Can I collect it? Oh.
The copper scroll, amazing! The Hebrew letters are hammered into the copper itself. All of this lying around must be the treasure it's referring to as well, the silver and gold. Today was quite a feat, considering all the information I was able to find out. A shepherd named Muhammad found these legendary scrolls by accident in a desert cave. Kondo, the shopkeeper, could tell they were valuable and sold them into the hands of the Archbishop Samuel, who was then able to find help to decipher them and later to sell them. In the end, the Archbishop's 4 scrolls and Professor Sukenik's 3 amounted to a trove of 7, containing information no one even conceived of for the last 2 millennia. This was a successful exploration, and now I must bid farewell to the mystery of the Dead Sea Scrolls and go on to my next adventure.
That was the Dead Sea Scrolls adventure. Score was 13 out of 14. Thank you for playing. Okay, guess that was it. It was very short since it was a university project, I believe. And if you made it this far into the video, I want to thank you so much for watching. And remember, Jesus loves you.